it's Marie Miller, aka the Spiritual Geek, also with House of Kellen, and today is day 2 of our happiness challenge. If you hear any noise, it's just my cat knocking everything off my desk, so I'll try not to get distracted by her. But today we want to talk about the reasons for unhappiness in our lives. There's several different reasons. We're going to talk about 6 different reasons why we may not feel as much joy as we possibly could. And we're going to start with one of the biggest ones, which is of course trauma, right? When we've been through a trauma, that will definitely also skew the way you even look at happiness. And like I mentioned yesterday, we went through a planetary trauma over the last few years. So many of us might have PTSD, and if you're not already familiar with it, it can be a little rough because it actually makes your brain work in different ways. It makes you react to things that you normally didn't react to before, because basically there's alarm bells going off in your head saying this is dangerous, when in fact it may not actually be dangerous. And there's a few different ways that you can tackle that. We will talk about a few of them later on in different videos. I do often recommend, and this is the reason I'm getting certified in it, for people to do some trauma-informed yoga if you're not at the place where you can talk about it yet. Because not everybody can talk about their trauma right away. There are some other great things. EMDR therapy is amazing. Theta healing can help with that, right? So that's one reason why you may not have so much happiness as you like. And the other thing is just so the next one is when you're getting triggered, right? I had a huge trigger yesterday. It's been about a year fighting with this company for my website, which is why I started the Spiritual Geek, and I'm really glad I did. But I had another website that was out of my control, and I was about to get it back into my hands yesterday, and everything went wrong. And it actually wasn't that big of a deal, but it felt like a huge deal to me. And the reason is it brought up a whole bunch of stuff that happened 20 some years ago, back when I was married to an IT guy, and so some of my old resentments and I thought I cleared a lot of them, but there were still a couple of little things of feeling lied to by an IT guy again, right? So a little bit of that came up, and that was just basically, I was upset as an opportunity to help clear away some things that aren't working for me anymore, right? So that's more of your sudden onset, kind of a little bit of a breakdown sort of thing, right? So that's a different reason why we have unhappiness. Another one is disappointment, right? When we're feeling disappointment, disenchantment. But the secret to that I often find is that people are disappointed because of this interesting interplay that we have with the way that we use resentments to help ourselves. And we are going to have a day dedicated just to resentments. Right. The next reason that we have is it could be hormonal, it could be chemical, right? And so if it is one of those things, it is really good that you go talk to a doctor, psychiatrist. There's no shame in getting a little bit of chemical help when you need it. For those of people who like to go all natural, there's also, I know rhodiola has been helpful for me at times. And I know there's a lot of people who have had decent luck with some plant medicine, which I'm not an expert in, but I know there's tons of experts out there that can help you with that if that's the route you want to go, right? Next thing is you might just not know what happiness feels like. There's a lot of people who it's an unfamiliar feeling. And for other people too, it could just be that you're so used to stress and sadness, those can be normal feelings for you. And so there is a possibility every once in a while you just don't know how to feel it. And that's one of the reasons why we do all the downloads and theta healing, is to help with that, to help you bring those feelings in. And then lastly, and this can also be part of some of the things going on, is numbness, right? It could just be that you've been under stress for so long that you're just gone completely numb. And what happens sometimes with that, the way that people try to get out of that, is that you look for thrill seeking, or you're looking for different things. I know for this fall, not that I was completely numb, I was a little bit, but we did some really, really fun activities, so I had all that exuberance, but it didn't always lead to lasting happiness. So you'd be exuberant on Sunday and kind of numb and back to your normal on Wednesday, right? So yeah, those are the different reasons for the possible reasons. I'm sure there's plenty more. If you want to add some in the comments, please feel free. Your homework for tonight is to take out the journal that you got yesterday and just feel into, like, first of all, identify what you're really feeling. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling angry? And just journal it about like what's actually been coming up for you. Are you truly happy? Right? What is it that I'm feeling? And then if you want to go through the different things, are you, write down, are you still, you think you're still, suffering from some traumas? Are you constantly feeling disappointed in others, right? Or are you just getting upset by things constantly? Like, are you constantly getting anger and sad, like getting triggered into like spikes of it? Or is it just like a low sort of hum in the background? Um, because before we can release something or work on it, we really have to identify it. So that is going to be your homework for tonight. And for today, we are going to give you a few more downloads just like we did yesterday. And again, to accept the downloads, all you have to do is say yes so your conscious and subconscious minds accept them. So do you want the Creator's perspective and definition of happiness? And that you know what it feels like and that you know how to be happy? And do you want to know that it's possible for you to have happiness in your life now? And would you like to know what it feels like, that you know how to, and that you can live without sadness in your life? And do you want to know what it feels like to live without stress in your life? So if you want these downloads, just say yes. All right, beautiful souls. Well, today's was really short and sweet. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. And tomorrow's topic is going to be different fun ways to actually trick your brain into being happy. All right, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.